What's up guys? In this video, I will teach you how to play Earl like a pro. The first thing I will be going over is two builds that I prefer, and then I will do two gameplays, one in solo and one in big team, which I will guide you through both. But before that, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and now let's start. So first for the builds. One build that I recommend is Nature Spear, Holy Sandals, Jungle Shoes, and Vampire Teeth. The reason for Nature Spear is so that you can shoot from far away just in case of someone trying to escape you, and the reason for Holy Sandals is so that you can pull people into the water, but we will talk more about that later. The next build that I recommend is for big teams, trios, and duos. The build is Defibrillator, Holy Sandals, Nature Spear, and Vampire Teeth. The only thing that is different from the last build is Defibrillator, so that you will be able to save your teammates easier. And one last thing before we move on to the gameplays, Adrenaline Shot isn't needed because of his high amount of health. But before we move on to the gameplays, let's look at his passive because it plays a key role in every game. His passive is called Exquisite Locomotion. This means that when you walk sideways, he goes faster, which I personally find interesting because crabs actually do that in real life. And his active pulls people closer with his claw, which is very important to know because we will use that a lot. Now for the first gameplay, which will be in solo. In this first round, I will be using Nature Spear, Holy Sandals, Jungle Shoes, and Vampire Teeth. So early on, you really just want to get as many weapons as you can, and I'm about to get a full set of them, and although they're not the best, they will have to do for now. And although it's tempting to pull everyone you see near you, watch out for tanks because pulling them in will just allow them to do more damage to you, giving them advantage over you. And sadly, I didn't get this health kit from the Buck, but this guard will definitely help me. And one of the reasons why I was able to defeat that Buck so easily is because of my huge amount of health. This is actually why he's so powerful and why you don't need to be afraid of picking fights like I do right here. For example, this Nyx, I just completely demolished him, and thankfully he did give me better things to work with. And once you have good weapons and preferably a health kit extra, you can start looking for fights. And here, although I didn't get the Larry, I did get the Fuzzy, and I did do a lot of damage to him. And right here, I was mainly using my spear because it's my only weapon that actually has range. And that is exactly why using Nature Spear is so important. One combination that I would recommend for him is shotgun, bow, and then your spear. The reason why I would save the spear for last is because it's the only long range weapon you have, and by then your opponent will usually have tried to escape. And whenever you're just running around looking for someone, then I would recommend to walk sideways because, as I explained at the beginning, his passive is Exquisite Locomotion, which means when he walks sideways, he goes faster. And although I was trying to get this Finn, he was dodging most of my attacks, and I wasn't really going to waste my time, so I decided to leave him be and go for someone else. Now this is where Holy Sandals comes in handy. Basically, if you pull someone in with your claw into the water, this will disable their weapons, giving you an advantage over them, and that is why I didn't get hurt at all from this strategy, and I actually got the Legendary Spear, which will definitely help me towards the end, because it will give me a lot of range, especially with Nature Spear. This Finn was bothering me earlier, so I'm finally glad that I did get rid of him. And to me, this strategy is just extremely overpowered, but then again, it's very easy to do. And it does give lower level characters a chance to win fights against higher level characters because they won't get hurt at all. At this point, I didn't even notice that this was the last character left, but obviously I won only because he couldn't do anything and he was on top of that stuck in the fire. So that was an easy win thanks to the strategy. That is it for the solo gameplay, and now on to the big team's gameplay. In this round, I will be using all of the same items except for Jungle Shoes. I will be replacing it with Defibrillator. Towards the beginning of the round, you really just want to stay near your teammates so that you can collect all of the same things that they collect. A lot of times, I will have some teammates that will just wander off towards the beginning, and then eventually when they circle back to us, we will usually have better things than them, and then it'll screw them over in the end. Also, he pairs very well with Buck, Fuzzy, and Duke. The reason for is because as soon as he hooks a player, if he gets stunned immediately, it could be a very powerful move because that will just completely wreck people. As you can see here, we were doing very well together. I even pulled this pepper, which my team demolished immediately afterwards, giving me a better shotgun. And now all we need to complete this perfect set was a nice bow. Although I did just save this one character immediately after another character died, so my whole team camped on him, which was very wise because in doing that we almost took out a player and we saved this one Fuzzy. And as you saw throughout this whole fight, this Louis, since he was the highest level, he was the biggest issue, but thankfully my claw somehow managed to get past his little rats, and in doing so, I was able to claw him into the water, allowing me and this Milo right next to me to kill him easily. And then after a long time of just wandering around looking for the last team, we finally found them outside the museum. And although I did say in the last gameplay to not pull people like these tanks near you, I was very confident for some reason, and that led me to where I was right now. I lost 2 of my medkits, my only medkits, and I was basically surviving off of vampire teeth, which was not a good sign. Thankfully though, we won on basically nothing. I don't know who got that last kill, but at least we won, even if it was by very, very little. That is it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and comment down below what other character guides you want me to do, and also comment down below if you can think of any more tips for Earl.